What up, though? Hola, mi gente. It's your host who in the neighborhood and streets the most, J Hodge, who in your hood, in your hood.com. And today is another episode, another segment of Hood Sites. So welcome to Hood Sites. You already know what we're doing. Disrupting the information that you do not know, information that you do not know and do not have, and plugging you with the information that you may know a little bit about, but just more extensive, more deeply. But most importantly, keeping you plugged in with the information that you do not know, because we know everybody don't have the time of day, do their responsibilities, their duties, their lifestyles, to seek out and source out information. And at the same time, there's that other half that just don't make the choice to do so, to seek out information. So we want to make sure we keep them both groups plugged in with information. Now, back to the insiders. Today's insiders. Of course, inflation is still on the rise. It's still happening. A lot of retail companies have been reporting that their earnings and sales have spiked, increased because of the stimulus checks. The stimulus money is helping to fuel the dollars that's flowing through the economy, because people are ready to spend the money that they have in excess, because the stimulus payments and the stimulus money is giving them a little bit more cash in their pockets than what they would have normally. Now, with that being said, there's no indication that the economy is doing better. There's no indication that people are financially recovering and that jobs are being filled, because that's still a challenge and that is still an objective that needs to be met in order for there to be a technically recovering economy. And that shows that the economy is actually growing at the rate that it needs to. Now, in addition to that, there's been something called the Committee of Commerce. I think it's COCC. That's another thing to pay attention to, because they do something that has to do with the Community Development Act. And under this, it's either COCC or OCC, but it's the Committee of Commerce, and they are responsible for banks reporting how they improve and give back to poor communities on a yearly basis. So that's something to pay attention to, because it's something called the CRA, and then there's the Community Development Act, and I believe the year was of 1975, if I'm not mistaken, 1974 and 1975. Those are two things that we got to pay attention to, because in underserved communities, the banks that are in that area are required to help the community advance and get better and shape up. But as we know, that hasn't been happening. Now, another insider has to be that gas is still an issue. North Carolina is the worst state right now when it comes to gas, because still over 50% of gas stations don't have gasoline. So in addition to the Colonial Pipeline being hacked, them paying $5 million to get the gas back online, now there's been a power outage. The power outage apparently occurred as Colonial Pipeline was trying to put more defensive mechanisms in place so they will never get hacked again. And in doing that, it messed the system up and caused a power outage. So gas prices will continue to be affected in a negative manner consumer-wise because the prices is going to be high. So that's for the whole southeast. The whole southeast of the United States. That's from Texas all the way up to North Carolina. All the way up to New York. That whole region is affected. And so, of course, that affects gas prices overall. Now, another thing that's happening is there could be a future decrease because of a deal that's being brokered with Iran for oil. If that goes through, there will be an increased supply of oil, which would be an increased supply of gas. So that will be something that helps counter the inflation that you see in the gas. But for the most part, this quarter just had to play itself out. We got May, we got June, we got July. And at the end of July, we will see what the outlook will be going forward for the rest of the year as it relates to inflation. Because the Federal Reserve is not moving. Stand on their position. Say it won't, it's temporary. But people think otherwise. Either way, these things that's happening and occurring, it affects you as an investor, and it affects you as a consumer. So either way, you got to protect your money in the best ways that you see fit. And although the economy is reopening, be smart with how you spend your money. Save what you can save and invest if you never have. And invest in companies as an investor. Invest in companies that are positioned to do well after the economy fully reopens and going into the future. So whether that's in the EV market, whether that's in AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, whether that's in the constructions, materials, industrials, anything that has to do with building and infrastructure, because Joe Biden announced the infrastructure plan, billions and billions of dollars, and that is going to fuel the companies that are going to be able to meet the demand of that infrastructure bill and then going forward. So it's a lot. But everything has to be paid attention to. Now, today's news segment is titled, Sisters Celebrate Their Ancestral Roots by Revolutionizing Chocolate Bars in Ghana. Continuing. African countries are rich with resources from diamonds and copper to tropical fruits and cacao beans. Two sisters, Kimberly and Priscilla Addison, are chipping away at the myth that premium chocolate can only be made in Europe. 57 Chocolate co-founder Kimberly embarked on a factory tour of chocolate making in Switzerland and embraced the idea of transforming cocoa beans into delicious chocolate bars in Accra, Ghana. Priscilla became a company co-founder and serves as a co-chef, aspiring to revolutionize bean to bar chocolate with her sibling. The duo embarked on a mission to revive Ghana's 1957 can-do spirit. 57 Chocolate is short for 1957, the year of Ghana's independence. This venture uses resources grown within the country to create delicious treats, reads the company website. Lioness of Africa reported that the Addison sisters' mother started a business in Ghana when she was 18 years old. So the women have entrepreneurial roots naturally. Their company's mission states that the sisters aspire to add value to local resources and create high quality products that celebrate African art and culture. Continue. According to Stranger's Guide, 57 Chocolate's concept, when Kimberly and her sister lived in Switzerland. The business idea materialized in 2014. The ambitious sisters moved to Ghana, although the first batch of chocolate bars were not made until 2016. One day, and this is a quote, one day a group of friends invited me to tour a Swiss chocolate factory called Kyler, one of the largest chocolate makers in Switzerland. At the beginning of the tour, they showed us where they sourced the beans, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Switzerland is known for its chocolate, but the realization that the main ingredient isn't even grown there, but in Western Africa, was quite shocking, Kimberly said in the interview with Stranger's Guide. For the past 150 years, Africa has produced nearly 70% of the world's finest cacao beans, cacao, but less than 1% of the world's chocolate. So I went home that day and spoke to Priscilla about it. And that's the words of Kimberly, the sister, one half of the sister. Kimberly stated that the pair wanted to add value to the cacao being locally. Their plan to craft chocolate that was just as good or even higher quality than what was made in Switzerland or Europe, so people in Ghana would purchase chocolate made at home. The Stranger's Guide also explained that the sisters gained experience through reading, taking classes, and apprenticeships with other chocolate makers. A positive, ironic twist was posted on 57 Chocolate's Facebook page. It states, when we started, our goal was to start local but think global. We are proud to have partnered with Manu in Berlin, Manu Manuyoo in Berlin, Germany, serving customers across Europe. In an interview with Black Girl Ventures, Priscilla underscored the importance of believing that Ghana can produce quality products. Quoting, and this is from Priscilla. People must begin to believe that Africa can make products as good, if not superior, to foreign products. We hear it a lot. This was made in Ghana, Priscilla said. End of article. And again, today's news segment is titled, Two Sisters Celebrate Their Ancestral Home by Revolutionizing Chocolate Bars in Ghana. So this is the recipe that I've been delivering in every news segment. Your cultural identity leads you to your cultural moral values and principles, leads you to your cultural challenges, issues, and constraints, leads you to your creative cultural solutions, which leads you to cultural sustainability, legacy, advancement, and progression for other generations to carry on. And this is what they did. Recognizing that, one, Africa has a lot of wealth, resource-wise, financial-wise. And that they went and seen a wealthy company who produces chocolate profit from something that stems from their culture. So they recognize that's an issue, that a company in Switzerland can be profiting from their culture. That's exploitation. cultural exploitation, but they, instead of complaining about it, they got proactive about it. And they went back home and they started their own chocolate brand and company, producing chocolate bars from their culture, for their culture, and realizing that they need a piece, they need to profit as well as a culture off of a natural resource that stems from their cultural grounds. So it's all so simple. It just takes you, and it only took them taking the action to assess their identity, morals, values, and principles, and then the challenge, the constraint, the opportunity. They had time to come up with a solution, and they did that. 57 chocolate bars. Because again, their cultural power was recognized through going on a tour and realizing that their culture is supplying the necessities to make a product. So why not get a market share? Why not get in on the market share? After all, it's a cultural resource of theirs. So why not? So that goes to say, think about more things that are in our culture that we can assume market share and benefits from, that's already naturally a part of our cultural group and our culture overall. There's a number of things. Music is just not the only thing. But this is an illustration of cultural power, like I always say. Nonetheless, they flexing their cultural power. And they can be found on Facebook as 57 Chocolate Bars. They have a website so they can easily be searched. 57 Chocolate Bars. And here's another black business that can be shopped with globally. Because they are saying and recognizing that they are a global people. Why? Because of the very African that are over here in America, which provides them a global market, because it goes far beyond just their country bounds. It goes continent to continent. So they don't neglect who they are. They recognize who they are, and they know, and now they're utilizing the power of who they are. That's the power of your cultural identity. But like I always say, visit the website www.inyourhood.com. Sign up for a free account within seconds to stay updated with the latest and greatest features, content, and materials. 24/7. That's streaming 24/7 on the website. It's the television show and digital show. Where's Jay Hodge, The Journey in These Streets? And then also, we have 24/7 lecture videos, streaming, live on the website. And then we have a bunch of content. We have True Essence of Black History. We have global black news. We have domestic black news. And we have more black historical geniuses and figures that you can get educated about. And like I said, look at our culture and learn about our culture on a global scale, and just what each aspect of our culture is doing. But in addition to that, it's also black businesses that you may not be familiar with, that you can get familiar with and do business with. And we're always looking for more, all industry types, all sorts, all 50 states, from the United States to the Caribbean. And in your hood social media, for Instagram is at His Excellency _J.Hodge. YouTube, it's J space Hodge, J space HAJJ. And then Facebook, of course, if you're watching, you can just you can like the In Your Hood page, business page. and you can stay updated every time a new news segment drops. But other than that, be conscious, be aware, be conscious, and pay attention to, like I said, inflation and all the things that's going to affect and impact your pockets going forward. And just know that it's a waiting game, and we just going to have to let this quarter, May, June, and July, play out. And make sure that you just put the right protection in place of your money. Save more than you spend. Invest more than you save. It's as simple as that. Like I always say, I'm going to get on y'all tomorrow.